everybody, how's it going? It's a Daily Shooter, and this is going to be my full review of the Savage 10 FCP SR, otherwise known as the Savage Model 10. This is the version that has the 20-inch barrel. They also sell one with a 24-inch barrel, and this is also the version with the Kryptek Camo pattern. They also sell them in black and other patterns as well, including digital camo, I believe. But this is the one we're going to be taking a look at today. I've been shooting it for several months now. I've put about 1,000 rounds through it. Feel like I can give you my honest opinion. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. Okay, so we're going to start by taking a look at the action. You can see that it does have an oversized tactical bolt handle. It has a 2-lug floating bolt head. Also comes with the fully bedded ACU stock and the ACU trigger. All those things put together honestly make this one of the nicest rifles, if not the nicest bolt action rifle that you can get for under $1,000. It also has a threaded barrel, and it comes with a thread protector, and that's where the SR comes from. It stands for Suppressor Ready, so you can install a suppressor on this thing. I ended up installing a compensator just to help out with some of the recoil and some of the muzzle rise, but definitely Suppressor Ready. Now, regardless if you have the 24-inch model or the 20-inch model, they both have heavy barrels that are fluted, and they're actually not too heavy. I would expect it to be a little bit heavier given the size of this barrel, but this rifle only weighs about 8 3/4 pounds. The one with the 24-inch barrel surprisingly only weighs a quarter pound more. It weighs 9 pounds, they say. Now, the fully bedded stock, the ACU stock, actually comes in several different patterns. This particular one just happens to be the Kryptek Camo. They also do, I think, digital camo, black, and maybe even some other patterns here. And it does come with a 10-round box magazine. The 10-round box magazine is great. I just love having the ability to shoot 10 rounds before putting in a new magazine. However, they are a little bit expensive. If you want to buy a new one for it, you can get them from Savage. I believe they're about $60. However, you don't have to really worry about it. If something happens with your magazine, it breaks down, you can load round by round just doing it that way. So it's a really nice rifle overall. It also has a 20 MOA Picatinny mount on the top, so you can mount your optics up there, and it gives you kind of a 20 MOA advantage, so you're able to shoot those longer ranges with that particular mount. Now, as far as accuracy goes, this is definitely a sub-MOA gun. This target is at 100 yards, and you can see after we got it zeroed, they were just dropping one right on top of the other. Then we had some fun because we couldn't believe how accurate it was just shooting the spoon. And then after we shot the spoon, we were even able to shoot the spoon handle. And again, this is at 100 yards, so it is an extremely accurate firearm, and it just makes it so much more fun to shoot. Now, the optic that I ended up putting on it is a Trijicon AccuPower 4-16 by 50 millimeter scope. I'll put a link in the description box. And you pair that type of magnification, 16 times magnification, a good piece of glass with this rifle, and the bipod is from Rudolph Optics, and really you have a tack driver. It's accurate from the very first shot. It's the way that they button rifle it, the way that they have the consistent bore measurement all the way down, the way that this is a completely free-floated barrel, all leads to that extra accuracy. And you can even do the dollar bill test, run a dollar bill all the way down the barrel through the stock, and it won't touch either thing. I've also used this for several tests, so armor tests, ammunition testing, and different things of that nature. And every single time that I've relied on this for that first shot accuracy, I've gotten it. Even here, just shooting some tannerite. So I've been really impressed with it on the accuracy end. On the comfort end, it's great. It doesn't have a lot of recoil to begin with. I mean, 308 has some recoil, but the recoil pad is pretty nice. But still, I ended up putting on this SLR Rifle Works. This is a muzzle brake that I got from MSRarms.com, and it really helps keep that barrel down and does cut down on some of that recoil. So when you're shooting prone, that kind of helps because you get your eye a little bit closer to the ocular lens than you would when you were sitting maybe at a table or something like that. So it does help with the recoil, helps with the muzzle rise, helps you stay on target, and I enjoy that. You know, whether or not you're going to put a can on it or you're going to put a compensator on it or just leave it without, I prefer having that compensator on there. Now, if you're a hunter, somebody that's got to carry this thing around all day, not only is weight a factor, but length is a factor as well. With the 20-inch barrel, you're looking at only 44 1/4 inches long, and then again with the weight 8 3/4 pounds. So it's not really long. It's not super heavy for something that has a heavy barrel for a 308, and it just lends itself to be easy to kind of lug around all day. Obviously, it's not the lightest. I had been looking at the Ruger Americans and the Savage Axis, which are quite a bit lighter than this, but they don't have the AccuStock and some of the features that really lend itself to being an accurate field rifle. So those are factors to think about if you're somebody that's going to carry it all day. Now, I heard a lot of buzz about the AccuTrigger, and to be honest, I had never used it prior to this rifle, and I gotta tell you, that AccuTrigger is no joke. It came out of the box at about 2 pounds with this rifle, so it's an extremely light trigger pull, and it is very sensitive. If you happen to knock that trigger just a little bit, not centered on the trigger itself when you're bringing back that center blade, then it will basically block the action. You won't be able to fire the rifle. So it's a very safe trigger. If you're going to be carrying this thing around, it's a safe trigger, but it's also a very light and very crisp trigger. And the AccuStock. I think the AccuStock is honestly on par with some of the rifles out there that cost thousands of dollars. And that's because it's a fully bedded stock. The bedding actually goes all the way from the back of the action all the way to the front of the stock. So it makes a really nice and rigid platform and gives a good mounting surface to the action while still allowing for a good, nice, clear, free-floated barrel. So the harmonics are going to be great. You're not going to get any deflection or anything like that. It is a solid platform to be mounting a barrel and an action into. The AccuStock, honestly, is fantastic. So when I say that I think this is one of the best, if not the best bolt-action gun that you can get for under $1,000, I definitely mean it, and for several reasons. Again, you have the AccuStock, you have the AccuTrigger, you have a fully free-floated heavy barrel that's been fluted, you have the threaded barrel, you have the 20 MOA Picatinny mount on it. I mean, just so many things that have gone into making this rifle worth a lot more than the $700 that I paid for it. So well under $1,000. It's just a great rifle, and if you're somebody who's watching this video because you thought about buying one, I would definitely say that this is worth your money. It's worth the investment. And if you're somebody who's already bought one and you're just watching the rifle to see somebody else's opinion on it, I love this rifle. It's honestly my favorite rifle at this time and place right now. 308, it's hard hitting, it's accurate, it's everything that you're looking for in a bolt action right out of the box without having to spend any money at all except for something to put on there. So a nice piece of glass, but a nice piece of glass does really help. And again, I'll put a link to the Trijicon scope that I used in the description box. So I hope everybody really liked this review. It was a lot of fun to make it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.